So circle is one of the more expensive shapes. We'll just quickly jump over to it. Circle's only mod is jumping over to line box, which is also kind of weird, but is a thing. So we'll just jump right back over to circle again. And the thing about circle, and the reason I always call it expensive, is let's just scale this shape out. We'll just scale it down, and we'll just put a bevel on top using HardOps. And we're just going to just put a circle in this surface. In fact, let's apply the scale there. I think somehow the normals got flipped, and we're just going to cut in some circles. And every circle that we're cutting in, I just want you guys to take a look at the poly count. You know, I always look at it too. I'm just watching it actually create like almost 2,000 edges with every cut, to really exaggerate the point, because I have a big bevel going on here. And this isn't to really talk any smack about circle, because you know what you're signing up for when you're using a circle. But the thing about a circle is a rather expensive shape, and for that reason we have it now where if you hold shift and you scroll to wheel, you can at least choose how many segments you have on your circle. In fact, if we pause it, you can actually see the segment counter go up on the notifications. So now we're at 32 segments or 36 on our circle. But the thing about circle that makes it expensive as well is because due to the equidistant curvature of it, getting it to solve with the bevel can also be a little bit tricky. So with circle, there also comes a degree of understanding about bevel and distance from the edges and the way that it behaves with the bevel, mainly because it just gets out of control really fast. In fact, if we look at this, the solution for solving is kind of a whatever solution, right? Like it's really just Blender just giving us what Blender gives us, which be thankful that it's this and not a point connecting every single point to something, because that's what it used to be whenever we were getting started in this game. But I'm going to go ahead and put away at normal just to fix the shading. And just to fix this and kind of show a little bit of circle solving in action, we're going to press Control X and turn this to a knife. And here's one cut with the knife, just kind of easing all these circles to be a little bit easier. And we'll do the same thing in this area. Just do a knife cut. We can't do a knife cut if there is no, let's try that again actually. We'll perform a knife cut. And in this area, we'll try to perform a knife cut across them all. Didn't work, so we'll do it like so. And this is actually a lot easier on the bevel to deal with than what we were looking at previously. Of course, we could optimize our solve a little bit with our weld. So if we were to want to do that using HardOps, we could just add a weld in here, scroll the modifier till it starts eating the bevel a little bit, then roll it up to stack just one, and now we see that the weld is giving us a much more acceptable result with this ease with the transition into the bevel. So weld has kind of just been a gift from heaven for us that just keeps on giving when used in just the right cases, with just the right amount, with just the right tools when it comes to managing these sort of things in action. So it's not that I am not a big fan of circles, it's that circles do have their right place at the right time. Recently inside of HardOps, we've taken some steps towards making circles even more agreeable. So here's a scenario that I enjoy doing with the circle quite a bit, is drawing a cut and then going under settings and shift clicking shade solid in order to make it a solid duplicate. And with a solid duplicate, we now have this move to the initial collection, and you can quickly just create some sort of little rover without a whole lot of effort, just getting in here and just taking some circles, cutting in, and then shift clicking to shade them back to solid in order to just really just get after that form very quickly. And then we can just take the main shape, control click mark, maybe roll it up the stack so it shows up afterwards, mirror it to the other side, and we're off to the races very quickly with this particular endeavor. So there's definitely a use for circles in the workflow, and I definitely want to show more creative uses for them in ways that you can get them to work for you without having to go through the stresses that can come up with having so much geometry being suddenly added whenever you're using circles. So I did want to do this segment just giving a little bit of love to circle and showing just how I still use circle in my day-to-day life to just get very fine results, and also sometimes to do very random things like what you see me doing here. In fact, that is not a very well aligned circle. Let's try that again. And we have it there, and shift click shade solid, and we'll just bevel that selection, and here we are with our little circle car just ready to take to the next level. So before closing out, I wanted to do one more section talking about circle. And the interesting thing about circle is that we can use BoxCutter in edit mode, of course, and circle will also have special behaviors in edit mode, like the ability to automatically dissolve the centers. I'm a pretty big fan of not seeing triangle fans whenever I'm using circle. So notice that I'm just using circle repeatedly to just create some quick shapes here. In fact, because of the unusual form that I'm cutting here, I don't have a central jump off point just a second ago. However, we're just cutting our circle, and then I'm just going to switch to box. And after switching to box, we'll just draw this shape, press Y in order to make an extraction. And now if we hold Control or actually in my case, I'm holding Alt and Shift when I drag, I'm able to basically drag my extraction all the way in here. And just notice that I'm able to just easily repeat this in edit mode after just extracting it from a face that we just created it on. So a lot of work has went into making circle and custom as versatile as possible for this release. So you should definitely notice some improvements with it, even as far as speed is concerned. But I just wanted to at least do one more section talking about circle and showing it in edit mode.